Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Get Crystallized Show. I am so excited because today I have a special guest, a EFT expert, Yolanda, with us. Now, listen, if you are new to R3, let me just quickly introduce myself. Welcome. My name is Coach Crystal. I know we've had a couple of ladies join us recently. I'm the CEO of R3 Evolution Fitness and the creator of the Revolve Life Method, which is a mind-body transformation and personal development coaching program. And it is our passion here at R3 to help women just like you break self-sabotage barriers so that you can create a healthy lifestyle that you love and love the skin that you're in. And so one of the things that, we value and we understand is that as women, especially working moms, we deal with daily stress, anxiety, let alone, for all my moms out there, God bless you, who are, doing the online schooling with your kids. There's just these added stressors. And then, of course, we were thrown this whole pandemic. And so we've been really dealing with an abundant amount of stress and anxiety. And so I am so excited to bring here my friend, colleague, tapping expert, Yolanda, who's going to teach us what exactly EFT is. I know there are a handful of women you were able to share your expertise with, and it was mind-blowing, the changes that I personally experienced just from your miniature workshop. So I would love for you just to share a little bit about yourself, Yolanda, your background, and what EFT is.
Yes. So I am a Master's of Science, and the Master's of Science bit is actually a Master's of Science in Finance, because in my prior life, as I used to call it often, I was in finance. I was a banker for 10 years for the biggest bank in the world at the time, Citi. And at the time, of course, I wasn't a mom. I was very dedicated, very busy, very this, very that, like so many people are. But then I took a break, literally, I was on maternity. And while I was on maternity, I started looking at stress relief techniques because I needed it so much. And so did, everyone I knew, really. And of course, I started using this technique and it helped me so much. And it helped everyone I used it with, which at the time was only my family, my friends, my baby. When I got my baby to sleep with this, I thought, I am onto something here. And of course, still fully intending to go back to finance, I hadn't realized the power of the tool I had in my hand. And then, life happens, doesn't it, Crystal? And there was a day when another mom was just telling me at the school gate how her little girl had yet another fainting from an extreme phobia that she suffered. Wow. And of course, me being trained in tapping, which was initially created to clear phobias, I said to her, look, I know this technique. Would you like to try it out? And when she tried it out, I didn't need to try it out, but when she tried it out, this child who kept fainting every time she even saw the object of her phobia in a little storybook at school. The fight or flight reaction is in actual fact, fight, flight, or out, right? So faint, really. This poor child kept fainting. And so we made it into a play date, 2.5 hours, and she's never fainted again. Wow. This was, 7 or 8 years ago. So this good lady took it upon herself to tell absolutely everyone. And before I knew it, people were calling me. And before I knew it, I had a business using this tool, which is so fascinating and which I'm about to define for you, and which really has helped so many people, including myself. So I suppose to the bit that says, what is EFT? It stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, also known as tapping. And it's an acupuncture-based technique. And I insist on the word technique because there is no belief system behind it. It's like a massage. It's a physical intervention. So it's a technique whereby people themselves, self-administered, stimulate acupuncture points as they focus on a given feeling that is unpleasant. So say the feeling of fear, or the feeling of upset, or the feeling of, I don't know, of anger, whatever it might be that they've got going on, or stress or anxiety, which are the most common ones, of course. And as you stimulate your acupuncture points, this is proven by very well-based science to do two main things amongst many others: decrease hugely the cortisol levels, your stress hormone, while reducing blood flow, again, hugely, to the amygdala, which is the part of your brain that kicks off and keeps you in fight or flight in this stress response. So that's how I got into it, and that's the basics of it.
I love that. I personally, I'm a fan of acupuncture. I've always, for all types of stresses, from carpal tunnel, headaches, you know, all of the things. And so what I love is, like you just briefly demonstrated, you don't need needles. You don't need
needles.
No needles.
It's quite funny because so many people come to me for a phobia of needles. Of
Yeah.
course, because the bread and butter of it are psychological issues like phobias, fears, stress, overwhelm, anxiety. So you would not believe, I've had nurses. Can you imagine being a nurse and having a fear of needles and being injecting people all day? I've had several nurses with fear of needles. And for the record, I don't like to overpromise, but even the research shows that in actual fact, phobias often clear in one session.
Wow. Now we're talking a lot about fears, and one of the things that I hear a lot within our ladies is that not necessarily that it's fearful, but rather there is a battle when it comes to sugar cravings, as an example. And because we know that food is an emotional regulator, so it's the easiest thing to calm down anxiety, to calm down fear, to calm down worry and stress. So how can we pivot and maybe use this technique instead of food? And when I say food, it's typically, you know, the unhealthy, processed, high sugar food, because it's such a quick Band-Aid fix.
Of course.
How can we use this technique for someone who you know, is gravitates towards food to cope with loneliness, anxiety, depression, fear, and all that?
Or stress, or whatever it might be. Excellent question, Crystal. Thank you so much. The truth is, we even have proper academic research showing how immensely effective tapping is at clearing cravings. So we know it works, and I'm going to show you how. Essentially, if you want, we could do a demo, but what it would involve would be, first of all, acknowledging that you're not eating out of hunger, that, you know, we all do it. We grab the biscuits, we grab whatever it is, and we eat it. Ice cream, buttery bread, right? And we all do it. And the first step is to acknowledge that you're grabbing the buttery bread or the ice cream because of an emotion. So there would be two levels. The first level would be to tap on the craving and clear it, which in itself is, goodness me, round of applause. If you move away from that ice cream and off you go, right? And that is amazing. But the second deeper level would be to think, okay, what's the emotion behind this craving? Why do I keep getting these cravings? Am I stressed out? Am I disappointed? Am I sad? Am I overwhelmed? And then you tap on that. You clear away the disappointment, the feeling of stress, the feeling of inability to cope, overwhelm, whatever it might be. And then that's when the cravings don't even come.
Wow. Okay. So for example, for me personally, I know that I will use eating ice cream at the end of the day as an example, because I want to reward myself.
Exactly.
So how can you maybe do a little quick demo of those two phases to first deal with
Yeah.
saying no to the ice cream and then
Yeah.
really the reward.
Yeah, and then thinking, okay, well, why do I need a reward, and
Yeah.
what is going on here, and can I reward myself in a healthier way, right? So of course, it really, we will do a quick demo in 30 seconds, but it really all goes back to, you know, why are you eating this ice cream?
Yes.
Get rid of the craving, and if you can see what's behind it, then tap on that. So say you're on your way to the ice cream. I always say to people, even if you're already on your way to the biscuit tin, even if you've grabbed the biscuit, even if you're putting it in your mouth, even if you've taken a bite, nobody can stop you from putting it down and doing a bit of tapping. And if you tap before you put it in your mouth, you probably won't eat it. And this is how you would go about it. I'm going to show you the acupuncture points first. So first is side of the hand, top of the head, eyebrow, where the eyebrows begin, outside the eye on the bony bit, under the eye on the bony bit, under the nose, chin point, where the crease is, collarbone, and under the arm, sort of bra strap height, under the armpit, nipple level, you could say. Okay, all these points are more like an area, because technically speaking, they're the end point of a whole acupuncture channel. So you don't need to worry about getting it wrong. If you use 2 fingers, you'll catch it for sure. So those are the points we'll use, and the protocol is always of the form, even though I've got this problem, I accept myself anyway. You do that 3 times and then find a summary sentence and go over the other points. So say you're on your way to the ice cream. You start tapping and you quickly go, even though I really want this ice cream, I accept myself anyway. Even though I have this craving, I accept myself anyway. Even though I've got this craving for ice cream and it really looks like there is absolutely nothing else in the world I can do right now other than keep walking and have that ice cream, I accept myself anyway. The more detailed, the better. Then after those 3 setup statements on the side of the hand, either hand, it doesn't matter. If you're getting confused with what side of the hand, this is a good shortcut. Palms up to the sky, and then you can't go wrong. Okay, even though I've got this craving, I accept myself anyway. 3 times is enough. Make it detailed and then go to the summary sentence. This craving for ice cream. That's brief enough. This craving for ice cream. I am really craving. This craving for ice cream. This craving. This craving. Since I won't be around, it's easier to keep it simple. This craving. Focus on the feeling and keep tapping. This craving, all this craving. Looks like the ice cream is the boss. I really am craving this. I have to have it. It is the boss. And after a couple of rounds, or maybe 3 maximum, you might start saying, or is it? Is it really the boss? Who decides here whether I eat ice cream? Maybe I've got some power in this. And just as you're tapping, even if you just keep it simple and keep going, this ice cream, this craving, this ice cream craving, even if you just keep going, making it very simple for you, you will notice the intensity dropping. But you could ask yourself, is it really the boss? Maybe I'll choose to decide myself. Maybe I am the boss.
I am the boss.
I am the boss. I choose to realize I am the boss. I choose to realize that if I want to eat this ice cream, I eat this ice cream. Because I want to, not because I have to.
Oh, good.
I am the boss. If I decide to have a couple of spoonfuls, that's a different matter. I would recommend trying not to start, because then the addictive part of your brain kicks in if you're starting to eat that sugar. So it's better, if you can, to not even have a bit. But if you have to have a bit, have a bit. But have a bit because you want to have a bit, not because you have to have the entire tub. or the 12 biscuits in the box, in the packet, or the whole chocolate bar, or whatever it might be. So once you choose to be the boss, I choose to let go of this craving. I choose to let go of this craving. I am the boss. I have the power. And just take a little break, do a deep breath, perhaps. And just check again. How intense is the craving? I would be surprised if it hasn't gone down. I often use a smile chart. And I'm sorry, I don't have it here, but it just shows from 0 to 10, how bad is it? Give it a number, be objective, keep it down to earth and honest. How much do I want this ice cream? I still want it, but it's only a 6, it's no longer a 10. If something can go from 10 to 6, it can go from 6 to 1.
Yes.
And then you're out of the kitchen.
Yes.
On to the next thing, right?
Something so that would be that you shared, Yolanda, something really powerful that I just want to highlight is that, because I know a lot of women, they say to me, oh, it overcame me. It wasn't me anymore. I became this monster, this like cookie monster, this ice cream monster. I inhaled the bag of chips, and next thing you know, I didn't even know that I had the whole bag. And what I love is that you said, okay, you move from the ice cream being the boss to, wait a minute, maybe I'm the boss, to I am the boss. That is a big transition in like 5 minutes.
Exactly. And it can happen faster than that. It can literally happen. I've elaborated it a bit just to give you more color of why we're doing it, because there will be people watching that have never done this and don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So that's absolutely fine. There's so much that I don't know about, but so I like to put a bit of color in, but it can be as brief as standing there thinking, right, I'm just going to tap on this craving. And literally, if you can remember nothing else, just feel the feeling and do the tapping. Literally stand there thinking, this craving, this craving, this craving, this craving, this craving. Even simple, even if you can't remember the wonderful progression from the ice cream is the boss, maybe I'm the boss, I am the boss. If you can't remember all that, at least tap, because that will remind you that in actual fact, you are the boss.
You know what I would even, for those, I know there's a lot of women here who that is a daily temptation. It's almost even write it on a card and put it on your fridge, or where the biscuits live in your cupboard, and put that, just that, right? Ice cream is the boss, and then to I am the boss. Cravings, ice cream is the boss, I am the boss. And just those 3 statements, and just tap away.
Yeah, and just step away. Just step away. If they know that's where the thing is, and they know that's how they normally feel, even reminding them that, who's the boss here, right? And then, of course, the first, the urgency is to get rid of the craving. But the second level would be to ask yourself, what was I feeling when I was so desperate? What did I want to stuff down with ice cream?
Yeah.
And then, if you get anything there that is severe, anything with the word severe, please don't tap on your own, because you could get very emotional. You could get yourself in a slight state, and a practitioner is trained to keep you safe. Yes. And who gets you out of that state? Yes. But if it's not something that's got the word severe, if it's just, I'm stressed, I've got too much to do, I'm fed up with the teenager grumpiness, whatever, with the boss, with whatever's going on, or all of the above, then that's where you go, even though I'm so stressed. I accept myself anyway. Mm-hmm. Even though I'm so stressed, I accept myself anyway. Even though I've got too much on, and I really don't know how I'm going to go about getting all of it done, I accept myself anyway. So then you can go, summary sentence, all this stress,
right?
All this stress. And a bit like with the ice cream, you're acknowledging your feeling, you're giving it a voice. It's the first step in psychology. This is really psychology mixed with acupressure. So all this stress, you're acknowledging the feeling, giving it a voice. Another trick that helps is, if there's a bit of your body that's feeling it particularly,
Yes.
Then focus on it, like when we did in the workshop, and you noticed something clearing up physically.
Yes. Yes.
Remember, so if there's a bit of your body that feels particularly stressed, a tight stomach, a tight chest, tight shoulders, they're very common. Then even though my shoulders are stressed, these stressed shoulders, when you go for the summary, you might say this tense stomach, this nervous stomach, and just keep repeating. But if you can't find a physical part of you that can rather feel it, you could go over more or less the same progression that we did with the ice cream.
Right.
Maybe I can have all this on, but feel calmer.
Yes.
And sometimes that's all you need. You still got everything on.
Yes.
But if you're calmer, off you go to get through it, to get on with it, right?
Yes.
So maybe I can be okay.
Yes.
Maybe I can get through this day. Maybe I can get through that difficult meeting, whatever it might be, that is not going great or that you're nervous about, okay? And then after a couple of rounds, naturally, it'll start to make sense to think, actually, I can do this.
And then the last thing that I love that you add is heart on your chest, your heart, heart on your hand on your stomach, and deep breathing,
deep breath
through your diaphragm to kind of check in. And then did it move from 10? Where is it now?
Exactly. That's what you do. You keep asking yourself, okay, how bad is it right now? Oh, hang on. So this feeling of stress, because remember, we've removed the craving by now.
Yeah.
Or maybe it could be that you've gone down to a 5 or a 6, but actually you're no longer focusing that much on that craving and you're really feeling the sadness, the stress, the whatever. These days, with everything that's happening in the world, heavens, I've just had a relative pass away from COVID, So sometimes above everything else, you're going to have one feeling that is taking over, right? So, and sometimes tapping very often has a way of bringing it up. Yeah. So you might think that you're just a bit edgy, right? And you do a couple of rounds of tapping and actually that edginess clears and you can see, we call it, peeling the onion. Yeah. And you can see very clearly that actually you're just very sad. Yes. Or actually you're just very worried about the next project. And when that edge comes off, it's so evident that that's the next place to go. Yeah. But always remember to keep yourself safe and to take responsibility for your own well-being. And if there is anything like the word severe in what you've got going on, don't do this on your own. Just tap away the edge, tap away the symptom, the edginess, the nerves, the anxiety, and don't go anywhere else.
Great. Yes. Actually, I would love, and I want to be respectful of your time. I know you've got another appointment to go off to. Where can our women, I know that you have a Facebook group. I'm going to actually add it in the copy, but I would love for the women to join your group because I know you pour so much value into that group and I feel, you teach again, how to deal with the day-to-day anxiety and stresses. So where can we find you?
Already, yes, my Facebook group is called Freedom from Stress, and then in brackets it's called FFS. I know, because it's a slightly strange abbreviation, and so people can find me there. I will drop you a link in the comments anyway, so people can just hit it. And in there's already a lot of videos on literally how to do tapping on various matters, on procrastination, on motivating yourself to exercise, on, of course, fears, anxiety, stress, COVID, anxiety, when you need a pick-me-up, all sorts of things that you will probably find useful. So feel free to either just have a look at Tap It Better online, Tap It Better. But I'm on LinkedIn as well. I'm Yolanda Castello in LinkedIn. Okay. But you can just join my Facebook group, which is the easiest way to literally go in the guides and find exactly what you're feeling and clear it there and then.
Perfect. I know that I'm going to make this a regular practice. I've already experienced how quick and awesome and life-changing it can be, just this practice. And I want to thank you so much for sharing. It was insightful. And I know a lot of our women, like I said, they have a lot of anxieties and stresses, and they use food to kind of cope with it. So I would love to hear, you know, for you ladies, if you practice this, put in the comment box below. Let us know. Did you try this? You know, did you
absolutely
you know, tonight when you typically grab that, whatever it may be, that glass of wine, those chips, whatever it is, did you try this practice?
Use it. And of course, for cravings, it's absolutely wonderful. But you know, you can incorporate it to your daily routines. I never get out of bed without tapping for 5 minutes. I literally look at the clock, tap for 5 minutes on whatever's coming to my mind, because that's what obviously is making me a bit worried. Tap for 5 minutes and then get out of bed. And as a pre-bed routine, it's wonderful. It actually increases deep sleep. And that's what we all need. It increases deep sleep. So you wake up, you sleep better, and you wake up feeling fresher, which we all need as well. Obviously.
I am definitely going to highly recommend including tapping, ladies, in your morning and evening rituals. We talk about morning and evening rituals, and I'm definitely going to include that. And I'm sure when we're inside your group, we can also find that particular tapping routine.
Absolutely. And if there's anything that you'd like that isn't there, drop me a message, because I'll do what I do in that group is every Tuesday I do a quick live, where 10 to 15 minutes, and where I address what people have been emailing me about or texting me about, and I do a live where I tap on that. So if there's anything you can't find there, drop me a direct message and I'll do it for you. I have no problem.
Amazing, girls. Oh, that sounds wonderful. So we've put the group in the comment box, and once we're all done here, I'll also add it in the copy. So Yolanda, thank you so much for your time, for your wealth of knowledge, for this kind of practice and technique that really can change women's lives and really help them break those sabotaging barriers. So thank you so much. Again, put any comments, make sure you join Yolanda's group, and we will see you guys next Friday once again for the Get Crystallized Show. Have an amazing day.
Have a great weekend as well. Bye-bye.
Thank you.